Right.
So, hello everybody. I'm very happy today to do this interview with Vugar, CEO at MEXC Exchange. Thank you for your time, Vugar, and
And thank
Happy
you
New
for having
Year.
me, and Happy New Year.
So, you recently joined MEXC in a very pivotal moment, I would say. What convinced you that this was the right exchange to take the CEO role?
I believe many people already know me or who I am because I used to be Chief Operating Officer at Bitget for a very long span of time, especially in the crypto years. I think when you work 2, 3 years somewhere, it's really long. During my tenure at Bitget, I helped the company to grow exponentially. Actually, had almost 5, 6-fold growth where when I joined, Bitget was top 20 exchange. Today, Bitget is one of the top three largest exchanges, serving 120 million users. When you run a huge organization like this, your growth is not about only focusing what you do, but also focuses on what everyone else does in the industry. Therefore, as an CEO, I used to keep a very wide eyes looking all our competitors, what they do, what kind of differences they bring to the market. Definitely, there are huge players, whether we talk about Bybit, OKX, or Binance, who was doing the similar large actions in parallel. But there was one exchange that was standing out for me most of the time. It was MEXC. Why MEXC was different and was like kind of taking my attention was the way the company was growing. Because looking back, it was the only exchange that didn't do any large partnership or promotional campaign. It was never attached to a football player or to any large, sports brand, which meant the most of the growth came from grassroots. It came from real people in the industry who was choosing MEXC because of its product, because what is it is offering. And in my opinion, when you have this kind of a organic growth as a strategy and you still reach 40 million users, it gave an idea how strong the both team and the company and its growth strategy was, and how much by doing the very obvious things, you can take this underdog who was already performing well and make it one of the world's top brands. And today, the reason I joined the company because I believe there's a huge potential to definitely polish what is already there, but also by adding a new strategy, by reimagining what can be done, propel MEXC's growth to become one of the top 3, 4 large exchanges in the world. And I hope in next 2 years I can do this kind of a huge job and replicate what I have done at Bitget for the MEXC, making sure that MEXC becomes world's one of the largest exchanges, not by only user number, but also by the product we offer and by the trading volume that we bring, and eventually making all our users to grow with us.
Yes, you mentioned Bitget scaled from 20 top 20 exchange probably to global 4. So what lesson from that journey are most transferable to Maxi, and what will you do differently this time?
One key lesson I've learned a lot during the Bitget, and one of the key lessons was focusing on a long-term outcome rather than focusing on a market cycles. We know that crypto runs in cycles. You have bear runs and bull markets, and usually what happens in bear runs, the companies invest heavily, they hire a lot, and they do large campaigns. While in a bear market, they kind of go to hibernation. One thing we used to not to do at Bitget was doing a very bold investment and making sure that we focus on a long-term goal. That became my conviction, that became my ethos, and this is what I will be doing same as the MEXC, making sure that whatever our long-term goal, we deliver and we work towards that, no matter whether the market is going up or down. And unfortunately, as you already mentioned, today crypto market isn't doing well. We have seen more interest towards gold and silver. We see stock market even in most days doing much better than crypto market. But it will not stop us building the MEXC or building the next big thing. What I would definitely do in a different way rather than that we used to do in Bitget. Bitget, we were trying to kind of put all our eggs in different baskets, which is a very great strategy. You know that we've been building Morph, the layer 2. We've been building extensively the Bitget wallet as a decentralized offering. But at MEXC, instead of building different products within the same big family, I want to keep focusing on a central product, which is the MEXC as a platform, as a gateway. In my opinion, it should become a gateway to infinite opportunities. But we will be doing a diversification within the portfolio, building new offerings, whether it is the tokenized commodities, whether it is real world assets. We want to make our offering within the same ecosystem much better, that the user gets a chance to diversify your investments and make the best out of the market volatility. I think today everyone understands that the core way of making money is, or core way of maximizing the results is about diversifying and being dynamic within the same ecosystem. Because if you change your app and you move your money from one platform to another, let's say to buy stocks or to diversify from Bitcoin to the gold or silver, you lose momentum. But our strategy is to making sure that all the users get this same agility, same speed within our ecosystem. And on top of it, one core addition we are doing today at MEXC is bringing institutional grade, professional grade AI tools for our users. And we want to give everyone access to have an AI co-pilot, which will make them to make the right and best decision.
Very interesting. And also you, in the past, you worked for giants like Facebook or Coca-Cola. And now, of course, you work for a Web3 platform. So what does crypto still do better compared to traditional tech companies, and what it does do worse?
I have recently done a very huge speech in Argentina for the Latin American Banks Congress. And I have exactly touched this topic about what Web3 companies do better than the banks. I think what we do better is the speed we do things. For example, if today, because our customer is also very demanding, if today there is an AI boom, all our customers want to have AI integration and they want it now, they want it immediately. When it comes to the stock market, you know, this in the beginning of the year, we saw Bitcoin decoupling from the stock market. We saw how President Trump and his policies affect the market movement. And immediately, almost all exchanges start offering tokenized assets. I believe the first was the Robinhood, and literally weeks after, almost all large exchanges was offering that. Similar goes for gold and silver. Similar goes to the real world assets. Crypto moves so fast. Crypto moves very fast. And the advantage of this is definitely for the user having the best product, but also it makes it a very hard playground to compete because everyone is doing everything in a very, very fast speed. But also there's a downside to this because we know that there is regulations, there's a lot of compliance related matters. And today when we compete with each other and we bring the newest, fastest product in a very high speed way, we also kind of become road blockers for the traditional institutions, because the similar way we bring stock market to our users or stock futures, almost every bank or neobank is today offering a crypto as an asset to its users. The same way that we don't provide direct stocks, but we provide the tokenized version or synthetic version of this stocks to our users. Similarly, the neobanks does the same thing. They offer crypto to their users, but usually it is non-custodial crypto. It is not. It is kind of a synthetic crypto assets, especially the Bitcoin that is they're offering to its users, and it always creates this gap. Where does the limit of serving customer the fastest way ends and serving customer transparently begins? In my opinion, what we need to kind of think, not as an exchange today, I'm not talking as an exchange representative, but more of an industry representative, thinking as an exchange what we can do to serve everyone better in a faster way while keeping innovation, but still being compliant ready and still making sure that we act within the frames. But one key thing is about crypto is it is super fast and super efficient. And if we apply all the technology right, it's very transparent. These three components you can't find in your neobank, you can't find in your tech company. And in most tech companies, even though they do bring innovation, especially when we talk about American tech companies, it is usually very bureaucratic and in a very multi-layer way. We have seen how much money they've been burning around in AI boom, which is not a case for, let's say, crypto companies, because in crypto, usually you don't only focus on building the greatest product in a very high cost, but you also want to be cost efficient because it's finance, it's about money, and it is definitely about return on investment.
Yeah, some user might fear that regulation can slow innovation. What do you think about that? How do you personally see the balance between compliance and competitiveness?
I believe regulation and compliance is kind of it's definitely like a one legal frame, but I believe it's like a two different aspects. Being compliant is very important, and almost all large exchanges makes ourselves. We work with authorities. We make sure that we serve our customers compliantly. But it is no doubt that we have seen also along the journey, not only during my tenure here at MEXC, but also during the Bitget and even before, that in most cases regulators are very harsh, and regulations do definitely, even if it doesn't kill innovation, it kind of blocks it. I always say, for example, in most legal frames, the crypto companies are required to have 2-3 lawyers and legislators on board who will work with the compliance, and definitely you will need 2-3 administrative workers to come on board. Eventually you will be also renting an office, and all these costs come up on top of each other. And we see that today a requirement from a crypto startup is a very high. You will need a crypto startup burning, I don't know, 50, 60, $70,000 every month just to remain compliant and to be able to operate. And as a person who already built businesses before, I can assure you that usually in this kind of a situations, as a startup founder, I would rather have spent this money to developers, to people who actually build the product, rather than spending on lawyers. Does it block the innovation? In my opinion, it does, because this way, if you don't have enough money, you're not able to operate. But also, I do understand the point of view of the legislator, because usually they want to kind of safeguard themselves. They want to make sure that, you know, they kind of put the blame on the other party. And when we look into kind of this situation, definitely large organizations, large exchanges like us, we do have enough resources to serve customers compliantly, to make sure that we meet all the requirements by the legislator, but it still will kill small, medium innovations, small, medium startups. And I think that is a very like a bad thing in my opinion. And I usually give a parallel about for our colleagues in Europe. I believe you are also living in Europe. For example, we know what happened with the Cambridge Analytica case with the Facebook, because I was working at Facebook at that time. With the new GDPR rules, we all kind of end up in this like a mobile devices. Mainly when you go to any mobile website, you will have this like a big block telling you accept the cookies and all the requirements. Users don't know what they are doing, what they're signing up. We all kind of accept and move forward. We ended up with a very long GDPR document and this half-blocked screens that we are clicking. Did it change much? No. Did the website stop taking user data? They didn't. I believe the same is with the MiCA regulations, MiFID regulations, and all the other large regulatory frameworks that, in my opinion, they're very effective for large organizations. But when it comes to small organizations, they do block innovation. And that is, I think, one of the ways that it slows down crypto adoption, especially in Europe. And we all know how regulatory kind of, and having not clear regulations kills innovation. We know what happened in America, and now we know, or we see how President Trump and his administration is trying to bring back crypto innovation to the States, because at its during the previous administrations, the rules were very harsh, regulations was non-clear, which eventually kicked the innovation out of the industry, entire economy. And today they're trying to bring it back. And I believe in 2, 3, 4 years, we will see the similar actions in the European Union, where probably they will be having more relaxed rules to bring back innovation, bring back entrepreneurs, because today there's a huge kind of a shift, both for the money and talent, that is, in my opinion, is very much concentrated in the Middle East because of their open arm policies.
Interesting. And yeah, after several crypto cycles, because yeah, you've been into crypto for quite a few years now. Where do you think real user demand is moving today?
I think today, for an average user, it doesn't matter if something is crypto, it is not. Average user want to maximize the results. Whether you have $20 or want $20 million, what you want to do, you want to put your money where it is kind of a safer to be as an investment, or where you can receive 20, 30, 40x results. Because we have seen how in the year and a half ago, a lot of interest went to meme coins, and people were thinking like, oh, like memes doesn't have utility, why people do it? But eventually people did it because no more altcoins were performing 10x, 20x. Then everyone was asking, when is the alt season? Definitely it didn't happen. Even though we saw all-time high both for Ethereum and Bitcoin, we haven't seen much movement in top 10 coins. And today we've seen a huge raising interest both for the stock market and also for real world assets, synthetic commodities. And the idea is user wants to diversify, user wants to capture the market's attention. If today market is about silver, user wants to have an access to that silver assets. They want to maximize their results there. And in my opinion, moving forward, we in a year probably or two, we will not be talking about a platform being a crypto exchange, a platform being a neobank. We will be talking about kind of an everything exchange where you are able to invest and trade everything everywhere at any time. If you have money, you will be probably wanting to be able to move it faster between asset classes, being able to invest in crypto. I'm sure in a couple of months, we will still be seeing Bitcoin raising in price. We saw how in last month and a half, it dipped up to 80,000 or $81,000 per Bitcoin. Today, it is standing around 95. I believe it will go back to 150 in very near future, and we'll be seeing action coming back to the crypto market. And I believe user funds will be inflowing to the crypto. Today, we see that more it is in the synthetic commodities market, a huge interest in the gold and silver. There's a huge interest also for tokenized stock futures. And in my opinion, as the user, also myself, I would rather have my money being able to move between asset classes. And what we do here at MEXC, we are one of the pioneers in the industry offering tokenized US stocks. We are also offering real world assets, and we're also offering synthetic commodities, and that will be moving forward. We want to offer our customers more and more asset classes there where they can invest. And that's why we will be still having the safety and security and transparency of the blockchain, because all these asset classes are tokenized within our environment, but still user will have an opportunity to move their money faster between the platforms. And let's not forget that what makes MEXC unique is that we are a true zero fee platform, mainly for spot market and also for most futures pairs we do offer. And we are one of the leading, I believe we're the leader in the margin market, where we offer up to 500 times leverage in several asset classes. And if we are able to kind of replicate these offering, both being the zero fee and also high leverage in tokenized stocks, in synthetic commodities, and in other asset classes, maybe even including foreign exchange, we will be able to serve our customers better and still bring that kind of great opportunities within all the ecosystem, and not limit our users to the crypto. And I think in a year and a half, we will be heavily investing in this direction, making sure that we open the doors, we become trade everything everywhere at any time platform, rather than focusing on being a crypto exchange. I think this is a big shift. We have seen this shift happening with also other large players, whether it's Bitget or FTX or many others. I think also it's not only crypto exchanges that are trying to becoming everything exchange, but we have seen Robinhood and other big players, including the crypto in their ecosystem, making that they're also becoming an everything trade platform. Eventually, I think that will be the competition between everything trade platforms in coming 2 years, and users will be having much democratic approach, very lower entry to the investment opportunities, and they'll be able to quickly shift between all the different asset classes out there.
The regions, your focus, your focus region, which countries did you think MEXC have to focus on, and why?
There are several regions that we are very strong historically, whether it is Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, or Turkey as a market. We are definitely market leaders in these regions. We are the number one, number two player. Therefore, we will keep investing in these regions because they are so important for our business, and both operational wise and also the way we are making money in these countries. But also next year, we'll be heavily focusing in Latin America, because Latin America has a very kind of a healthy ratio of educated users. They are already adopters. Therefore, we will be able to kind of come with a better product and better offering and capture the market share. Same applies to Africa. I believe there's a huge opportunity in the African continent with both adoption rate and also economical growth. I think this is one of the very few markets that is having the healthy growth rates. And we want to keep investing in those markets. But again, our core focus is Southeast Asia, definitely Turkey, CIS, and Eastern Europe, that we've been extensively investing, and we will continue investing next year, especially not only focusing as an investment as just like a from the product or like a market share, but with the MEXC fund, that is $30 million investment fund we recently announced. We'll be heavily investing in academic research and partnering with the educational institutions in this market, investing in developing new products, new tools, and also new scientific methodologies, whether it is the cryptography, mathematics, or the other passes of the education and research that can support the scientists in these countries, and making sure that we are able also onboard the young talent who will help us to innovate and build a better future together. And also, as a very exclusive news, I believe some of you already know, we will be looking forward establishing an innovation hub in the Middle East that will be helping us to kind of connect both Southeast Asia, CIS, and Turkey regions in one centralized hub, where our partners, clients, and key individuals that we work with will have a platform, a physical place that they can come and definitely innovate and work together, which will turn into kind of a knowledge share hub for all our users and also our partners.
Thank you for this news. And yeah, I would have so many other questions, but our time is running out. Is there something else you wanna add?
For everyone listening us, I want to add that 2026 is a year of change and transformation for MEXC, both from a brand and positioning point of view, both the way we operate and we build the products and we serve our customers. Because in my opinion, this is a pivotal moment where we are able not to just build the best product to compete with everyone else, but actually this is a turning point in this history, in the time that we are at, to build a product that is, as I mentioned during my talk today, it is about the way we can bring the financial opportunities to everyone, and MEXC becomes a gateway to infinite opportunities. And the way we will be doing it by providing a true zero fee as a conviction, as the way we believe the trade should happen, opportunities to do a huge leverage both in the futures and margin trade areas, both for all the other asset classes, including the crypto. And lastly, the way I fell in love with MEXC, even before joining the team, was that MEXC is a discovery platform. This is one of the platforms that lists the projects before anyone else. That's how you discover gems, and that's how you can do 10, 20, 30x in the growth of a project. And I think that will be our conviction to continue investing and to continue making sure that we are bringing the best projects and supporting the ecosystem and supporting the entrepreneurs within the crypto ecosystem to build and to develop. If we are able to kind of put all these components together, all our users can expect MEXC to grow, and definitely we'll be turning our wins into wins, making sure that by the time and speed MEXC grows, all our users and their wealth definitely grows. 2026 should be the year of opening the gates to the infinite opportunities, and I'm very excited to be here as a new COO, and I hope I can be the reflection of the change that's coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you to our listeners, and of course, thank you for your time, and see you for the next interview.
Perfect. Thank you very much, and see you soon.
Okay.